If you don't believe in yourself, nothing else will work. Not the plan, not the effort, not the advice. You must believe in yourself. That's not a suggestion, it's a requirement. If you don't believe in you, who will? You can have the right tools, the right goals, even the right people around you. But if deep down you don't believe you can do it, you won't follow through. You'll start and stop. You'll talk yourself out of opportunities. You'll live your life half committed, half confident, and fully frustrated. Belief isn't something you wait for. It's something you choose. You don't earn it later. You start with it. It's your job to build it, protect it, and act on it. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, right now. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what it really takes to believe in yourself, step by step, not with empty words, but with solid, practical truths that work in real life. If you're tired of second guessing, if you're done feeling stuck, stay with me. It's time to take back your power and believe in yourself like your future depends on it. Because it does. Number one, accept that nobody will believe in you first. You must believe in yourself because in the beginning, no one else will. That's the truth most people don't want to hear, but it's the truth you need to accept if you want to go anywhere in life. People won't believe in your goals. They won't understand your drive. They won't see your vision. Not because they hate you or because they want to stop you. Most of the time, it's simply because they can't see what you see. You have something inside you they can't feel. And that's your responsibility to protect, to develop, and to build with discipline. In the early stages of your growth, you're going to be alone with your belief. You'll be surrounded by noise, opinions, and doubt. But don't expect anyone to step in and give you the encouragement you think you need. That comes later, after you've already proven something. Before that happens, you have to be the one who carries the weight of belief. You have to be the one who says, I don't have everything figured out, but I know I'm capable of more than this. If you can't say that to yourself, don't expect the world to say it for you. Most people wait for external validation. They wait for someone to clap, for someone to cheer, for someone to approve. They think once people start noticing them, they'll finally feel confident. But that's not how it works. Confidence doesn't show up after recognition. It shows up before it. It starts the moment you accept that the only voice that really matters is the one inside you. That voice is either going to build your future or let it fall apart. The moment you stop needing people to believe in you, you start gaining power over your life. You start realizing that belief is not a group activity. Belief is a personal decision. It's not about how many people agree with your dream. It's about whether you can get up each morning and take action on it, even when nobody is watching, nobody is helping, and nobody is encouraging you. That's the test. That's the proof. And that's where you develop strength. Some people will say, well, I would go for it if I had more support. No. You don't wait for support to move. You move first. You go first. You show what's possible through your work. People don't believe what you say. They believe what you do. And the more you do, the more you become the kind of person others want to follow. But before that happens, you must act without applause, without validation, and without comfort. That's where belief is built. So ask yourself, what are you doing every day that proves you believe in yourself? Are you challenging yourself? Are you doing hard things on purpose? Are you making sacrifices because you see something bigger in your future? Or are you sitting around waiting for someone to tell you it's your time? Because if you're waiting, you're losing. No one is going to give you permission. You have to give it to yourself. You must accept that nobody is going to remind you every day to stay focused. Nobody is going to hand you belief. And that's exactly why your belief matters so much. Because when it's just you and the struggle, you're going to need something strong inside of you. You're going to need that unshakable decision that says, no matter how long this takes, I'm not quitting on myself. There's a reason the world rewards strong-minded people. It's because they can carry themselves through difficulty without falling apart. They don't break when no one claps for them. They don't shrink when nobody notices. They don't run when the support fades away because they never needed it in the first place. They believed first, and belief built their foundation. You want others to believe in you? Then show them how it's done. Show them by showing up. Show them by refusing to quit. Show them by doing the work no one wants to do. That's how people start paying attention. But you have to earn that through consistency, not through asking. You're not going to feel ready all the time. Some mornings, you'll wake up tired, uncertain, and discouraged. But that's when belief matters most. Not when things are going well, but when they're heavy. When there's no recognition, no momentum, no motivation, that's when you speak to yourself with strength. That's when you say, I'm still going because I owe it to myself. And let's be real. Some people in your life won't believe in you because if you rise, they'll feel like they're falling behind. Your belief threatens their comfort. Your growth makes them reflect on their own choices. That's why they won't support you. And that's why you don't need their support. They're not your enemy, but they're also not your responsibility. Your responsibility is your future. Your responsibility is doing what needs to be done, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's lonely, even if it's slow. That's what real belief looks like. It's not about shouting affirmations. It's not about pretending you're always confident. It's about doing the work that most people won't do over and over again because you see something they don't see. You have to be your own evidence. You have to build your own record. You have to earn your own respect by doing things you're proud of. That's how you build belief. You don't wait for it to fall from the sky. You earn it through behavior. And the more you act like someone who believes, the more real it becomes. Start simple. Clean up your habits. Stop wasting time on distractions. Make your word mean something. Do what you said you'd do. That alone will change the way you see yourself. Because every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen belief. And every time you break one, you weaken it. Look around. The people you admire most didn't start with a cheering crowd. They started in silence. They started with struggle, but they kept going when it wasn't easy. They believed when nobody else did. And that belief became the foundation for everything they built. Now it's your turn. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need a fancy plan. You don't need everyone's approval. You need to start where you are, use what you have, and decide that you're going to become someone you can be proud of, not for applause, not for likes, for your own self-respect. You'll be misunderstood, you'll be judged, you'll be questioned, but if you stand firm in your belief, none of that will stop you. You'll still move, you'll still work, you'll still grow. Because belief doesn't break under pressure. It gets stronger when tested. So accept it. Nobody will believe in you first. But you're not here for comfort. You're here for growth. You're here to change. You're here to become someone better than who you were yesterday. And that starts with one powerful decision: to believe in yourself, whether anyone else does or not. That belief is your edge. That belief is your strength. That belief is your beginning. Number 2, start backing yourself before results even show up. Most people are waiting for results before they take themselves seriously. They think belief comes after proof. But if that's how you live, you'll never build anything. Because the truth is, you have to start backing yourself before the results even show up. You have to be the one who sees what's possible before the world does. That's not ego, that's responsibility. If you don't believe in the path you're on, you'll hesitate. And every time you hesitate, you lose momentum, you lose confidence, and eventually you stop trying altogether. You can't expect the world to support a version of you that you haven't committed to yet. People respond to certainty. They follow clarity. They believe what you repeatedly prove through action. So if you haven't backed yourself yet fully, without excuses, without waiting, then no one else will. People mirror your energy. If you're unsure, they're unsure. If you doubt yourself, they'll doubt you. But if you walk with focus and act like you belong where you're headed, you start shifting how they see you. But it starts with how you see yourself. You've got to stop telling yourself, once I start seeing results, I'll start believing in what I'm doing. No, that's not how belief is built. You have to move forward when the numbers aren't there. You have to show up when there's no reward. You have to make sacrifices when there's no applause. That's how winners are made. They don't need the finish line to feel real. They make every step count before it becomes visible. Every day you waste waiting for proof is a day you could have spent building it. The most dangerous mindset you can adopt is waiting to feel ready. Because that day never really comes. You'll never feel completely prepared. You'll never have all the data, all the support, all the perfect signs. So if you're serious about growth, you need to stop waiting. You need to start betting on yourself. Early, aggressively, ask yourself, how much of your potential are you leaving untouched because you're still waiting for someone or something to validate you? That business idea, that discipline plan, that skill you've wanted to master, you've been thinking about it for years, but you still haven't gone all in. Why? Because deep down, you're scared it won't work. You're scared of failing. But the real failure is staying stuck. The real failure is choosing comfort over belief. And it never feels like failure at first. It feels like being cautious. It feels like being realistic. But over time, it turns into regret. The earlier you start backing yourself, the faster you build momentum. And once you have momentum, you stop overthinking. You stop asking if you're good enough. You start focusing on doing the work. And it's the work that changes everything. Because results don't come to people who wait. They come to people who prepare, who act, who fight through doubt and keep going anyway. You have to understand this. When you back yourself early, you're not lying to yourself. You're building a foundation. You're setting the standard for how you treat yourself. You're making it clear that you don't need external proof to move forward. That's strength. That's maturity. That's leadership. And people feel that even before you succeed. Think about every person who ever built something from nothing. They had to move forward while everything looked uncertain. They had to risk their time, their energy, sometimes their money, sometimes their reputation, without guarantees. But what they had was self-respect. They respected their vision enough to act. They didn't just talk about their goals. They lived in alignment with them. What do you think happens when you start backing yourself like that? Your behavior changes. You stop wasting time. You stop explaining yourself to people who don't get it. You start using your energy wisely. You take your time seriously. You stop second-guessing your decision. Because when you know you're moving with purpose, you stop needing constant reassurance. The truth is, you don't need everyone to understand your vision. You just need to be honest with yourself about what you want and what you're willing to do for it. Backing yourself doesn't mean shouting your goals to the world. It means showing up like you're already in the game. It means training like the opportunity is coming. It means improving your skills when no one's watching. It means treating your life like it matters now, not someday. The ones who wait for proof never reach their full potential. They stay behind the line, hoping something changes. But the ones who decide early, the ones who believe before the world does, they build a different kind of life. They build it from the ground up, and they build it with no excuses. Don't make the mistake of thinking belief is something that magically appears. It's something you create. It's a result of daily action. Every time you do what you said you'd do, even when it's hard, you build belief. Every time you move forward without needing to see results, you build belief. Every time you keep your promises to yourself, you build belief. And here's something real. Most people never build that belief because they keep quitting. They start something, then stop when they don't see results fast enough. They switch paths, they get distracted, they get discouraged. But that's because they never truly committed. They were testing, they were trying, they weren't backing themselves with full responsibility. You've got to go all in. If you're serious, act like it. Show yourself that you mean it. You don't need to convince the world. You need to convince yourself. You need to look at your actions and know they match your ambition. That's where confidence comes from. Confidence doesn't come from hype. It comes from work, from discipline, from making progress when nobody's clapping for you. You can't fake belief. You either act like someone who believes or you don't. You either move like someone who's going somewhere or you stay stuck in planning. Backing yourself means you stop entertaining doubt. It means you stop asking everyone what they think. It means you start trusting your own mind. And it's not always exciting. It's not always fun, but it's necessary because belief isn't loud. It's consistent. It shows up in how you treat your goals. It shows up in how you spend your time. It shows up in how you talk to yourself when things aren't going well. That's what separates people who grow from people who stay stuck. The ones who grow, they believe before the results. They invest in themselves when it's inconvenient. They work when no one's watching. They sacrifice when no one understands. And they keep going, not because it's easy, but because they're committed. So if you're serious about changing your life, stop waiting for signs. Stop asking for permission. Stop holding back because of fear. Do the thing. Build the skill. Make the move. Train harder. Focus longer. Hold yourself to a higher standard, even when there's no reward yet. That's how belief is built. And that's how you change everything. Number 3, refuse to think you're less than anyone else. There will always be people who seem ahead of you. People who look more successful, more skilled, more confident, more put together. But that doesn't mean you're less. You have to stop letting the world convince you that you're beneath anyone. You have to stop thinking you don't measure up. Because once you let that belief in, you start holding back. You stop trying as hard. You hesitate to speak up. You hide your potential. And that's where life starts passing you by. Not because you weren't capable, but because you convinced yourself you weren't worthy. You're not here to compete with someone else's timeline. You're not here to prove you're better than the next person. But you are here to stop treating yourself like you don't matter. That mindset will destroy every good thing inside you. You can't grow when you think you're not enough. You can't succeed when you constantly question your place. And you can't lead yourself if you don't even believe you deserve to be in the room. That's why it's non-negotiable. You must refuse to think you're less than anyone. Not because of your past, not because of your struggles, not because you're behind. You're not behind. You're on your own road. And your road doesn't need to match someone else's. What you need is to respect your journey. Because when you don't respect yourself, it shows. It shows in how you speak. It shows in how you carry yourself. It shows in how you treat your goals. And people notice that. If you treat yourself like you're second class, that's how the world will respond. It starts in your thoughts. The way you speak to yourself when no one's around matters more than anything else. If your inner voice is always cutting you down, always pointing out your flaws, always comparing you to someone else, you'll live your life in a box. You'll settle for less. You'll stop reaching. And slowly you'll start to accept that you're just not like those other people. But you are. You're a human being with the same ability to grow, to adapt, to improve. The only difference is whether you keep shrinking yourself or decide to claim your worth. You don't have to feel like you're better than anyone. That's not what confidence is about. It's about knowing you're not less. It's about walking into a situation and saying, I belong here too. Even if you're not the smartest person in the room, even if you're still learning, even if you've made mistakes, you still have value. You still bring something important, and you don't need anyone else to confirm that before you believe it. Your value doesn't disappear just because someone else is doing well. Someone else's win is not your loss. The only thing that takes your power away is your own decision to believe you're beneath others. That thought alone is enough to hold you back for years. You start playing it safe. You stop aiming high. You talk yourself out of good opportunities, all because you silently decided you weren't as good. But who told you that? Who convinced you that you didn't have what it takes? And why did you believe them? Nobody wakes up successful. Everybody has a starting point. And a lot of the people you admire now started exactly where you are, doubting themselves, unsure of their worth, comparing themselves to others. The only difference is they stopped doing that. They stopped giving power to those thoughts. They started speaking better to themselves. They started backing their own effort. And slowly, they built self-respect. Not because someone gave it to them, but because they decided they were done thinking small. You're allowed to be proud of yourself even when you're still growing. You're allowed to believe in your worth even when you haven't figured everything out yet. That belief isn't something you wait to earn. It's something you live by. It's how you show up every day. If you act like someone who matters, you start treating your actions with more care. You start working harder. You stop apologizing for trying, and you stop playing weak just to make others comfortable. There's nothing strong about pretending you don't care. There's nothing noble about downplaying your potential. And there's nothing smart about staying silent when you have something to say. But when you think you're less than others, that's exactly what you do. You shrink. You second guess. You hold back your voice, and that pattern becomes your life. You don't need to be perfect to be valuable. You just need to show up with a mindset that says, I'm learning, I'm growing, and I deserve to be here. You've already survived more than you give yourself credit for. You've already been through things that tested you, challenged you, and pushed you to the edge, and you're still standing. That alone proves you're not weak. That proves you've got something inside you, but you have to believe it. You have to let go of the lie that you're somehow less than others, because it's not true. It never was. It's just something you picked up from the world around you, and now it's time to drop it. If you keep thinking you're behind, you'll stay behind. Not because you are, but because your actions will start to reflect that belief. You'll avoid growth. You'll avoid risk. You'll avoid anything that might prove you wrong. And before you know it, the years go by and you're still stuck in the same place mentally, emotionally, and financially. That's not what you want. You know it. That's why you have to get honest with yourself. If you're tired of feeling stuck, it's not the world's job to fix that. It's yours. That change starts the moment you refuse to accept that you're less than anyone. That's when your posture changes. That's when your tone shifts. That's when you start doing the work, not out of fear, but out of belief. That's when you stop comparing and start creating. That's when you stop chasing validation and start chasing purpose. You've got the right to dream big. You've got the ability to do difficult things. You've got the power to change your habits, upgrade your thinking, and move forward with confidence. But none of that activates until you make this one internal shift, refusing to believe that you're beneath anyone. Because once that thought is gone, nothing else holds you back. You stop wasting energy trying to prove yourself. You stop overthinking. You start building. And when you start building with real belief, your life starts changing. Not because someone saved you, but because you finally stopped waiting to be seen and decided to see yourself. That's how you get strong. That's how you move forward. That's how you win. Not by hoping for permission, but by walking through every door with the quiet decision that you're enough, you're ready, and you're going to give it everything you've got. Number 4, tell yourself it's your job to believe first. The world won't hand you belief. That's your responsibility. That's your job. Before anyone supports you, before any success shows up, before any recognition comes, it's on you to believe first. No one's going to do it for you. People are busy. People are distracted. They're caught up in their own lives. So waiting for someone to believe in your idea, your dream, your plan, that's the fastest way to lose years. Because belief doesn't start with others. It starts with you and only you. Every goal you have, every change you want to make, every move you keep putting off, it all starts with one question. Do you actually believe you can do it? Not halfway? Not occasionally? Do you believe it enough to act like it? Do you believe it enough to change your routine, make sacrifices, and stay consistent without needing applause or proof? That's where real belief lives. It lives in the action you take when no one's watching. It shows up in the way you think when nobody is clapping. And if you're serious about building anything, you've got to stop waiting and take ownership of that belief right now. You've probably spent time wishing someone would see your potential. You've probably looked around and thought, if only someone would back me, I'd take off. But that's the wrong approach. Nobody's coming to give you permission. That's your job. And if you don't do it, nobody else will. The most powerful shift in your life will come when you say, it's not their job to believe in me, it's mine. From that moment, everything changes because now you stop waiting and start moving. This world doesn't give confidence to the hesitant. It rewards those who move with purpose. And purpose doesn't start with guarantees. It starts with a decision. It starts with the mindset that says, no matter how it looks right now, I know what I'm capable of. You don't build confidence from the outside in. You build it from the inside out. That's why you must believe first, before results, before validation, before success. You go first. And belief is what keeps you steady when progress is slow, when people don't understand, and when doubt creeps in. Too many people spend their lives waiting for the right moment to believe in themselves. They wait for a breakthrough, a compliment, a lucky break. But if you wait, you fall behind. You miss your chance. You let other people decide what you're worth, and you can't afford that. Your time matters too much. Your future is too important. You have to own your role in this, and your role is simple. It's your job to believe first, even if you're the only one. The way you talk to yourself has to change. If your thoughts are full of hesitation, if your voice keeps reminding you of your past failures, then you're not backing yourself. You're holding yourself back. And here's the truth. The world listens to how you treat yourself. If you carry yourself like you're not ready, that's exactly how people will treat you. So if you want to change the way others see you, you've got to change how you see yourself. You've got to treat your own goals like they matter. You've got to stop doubting yourself before you even try. There's something powerful that happens when you start backing yourself. You become more focused. You stop wasting energy on people who don't believe in you. You stop chasing approval. You stop asking for constant reassurance. Why? Because you've already decided to trust your own path. You've already chosen to believe. And now you're building with that energy. That's the turning point. That's where people begin to notice. But it doesn't happen until you lead with belief. You don't need anyone to hype you up. You don't need validation to be serious. You don't need a team of cheerleaders. What you need is discipline. You need personal standards. You need to wake up every day and move with purpose, even if the progress feels invisible. That's belief. That's what separates those who succeed from those who never start. Success is built on people who understood early that belief was their responsibility, not a gift they were waiting for. Your habits are a reflection of what you believe about yourself. If you're not showing up, if you're not staying consistent, if you're letting distractions win, that's not just a discipline issue. That's a belief issue. You act in line with what you believe. So if your behavior is sloppy, if your effort is inconsistent, you have to go back and ask, what do I really believe about myself? Because once you believe you're worth the effort, the discipline gets easier. Once you believe your goals are possible, the excuses get weaker. Everything starts with belief. That's why it's your job to develop it. Nobody else knows the full picture of your journey. Nobody else feels what you feel. They didn't grow up the way you did. They didn't fight through what you've overcome. That's why they're not qualified to tell you what's possible. Only you can decide that. And if you give that power away, if you hand over your belief to someone else's opinion, you'll always feel stuck. You'll always wonder if you're good enough. You'll always question whether you're capable. But once you take that power back and say, it's on me to believe, then you start becoming unstoppable. You don't need to fake confidence. You don't need to pretend you have it all figured out. What you need is real commitment. You need to show yourself that you're serious. That means showing up early. That means staying late. That means doing the work. Not because someone's watching, but because you said this matters. And when you move like that, belief becomes real. Not because you forced it, but because you proved it to yourself over time. Every day you're building something. Whether you know it or not, your thoughts and actions are shaping your future. If you spend every day doubting yourself, questioning your worth, and avoiding challenges, then that's the life you'll build. One that stays small. But if you wake up and say, it's my job to believe first, then you start building something stronger. You start building something with direction, and you stop needing the world to convince you that you matter. No one owes you belief. No one owes you motivation. No one is going to do this for you. That's not bad news. It's freedom. Because it means you're in control. You get to decide how serious you are. You get to choose how much effort you give, and you get to take full ownership of your future. So starting today, stop asking for someone to believe in you. Look yourself in the mirror and say, this is on me, and act like it. Because the day you stop waiting is the day you start building. And belief, real belief, always begins with you. Number 5. Walk into every room like you belong there. You don't need anyone to tell you that you belong. You have to decide that before you walk through the door.